back in the lab, man.
It is.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MB8Cast. Today I have a special guest, DuQuan Powell.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you. So basically, today we're going to do a quick recap and discuss our thoughts on the NBA offseason. As you know, obviously, as everyone else knows, there's a lot of things changed now, a lot of new faces. Just off the starters alone, a third of the league starters are now moved on to another team. So you turn on any game, you're probably going to see some new faces on the starting lineup. That also includes 10 of the top 20 players, so that's crazy. That's exciting. But
it's a whole new league.
Right, it is. But despite all the moves being changed, there was also some guys that just got contract extensions, such as Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, those guys. It wasn't their time to leave. Their teams paid them. They paid them, so that's good to see, too.
Hey, get your money.
Your money. So let's go ahead and get right to it. First thing I want to ask you is, what do you think about the offseason? How's it going so far for you?
I mean, this is a great, crazy offseason. I mean, one of the craziest we probably had in recent history. I mean, like you said, all the top tier players moving teams, finals MVP moving teams. Like it's just unheard of territory that we're moving into, and it's good, it's refreshing, it's new, and I like it.
I like it too. It's crazy. I remember about 2 days before the free agency period officially kicked off. Woj is already dropping bombs. You have so many.
Shout out Woj.
You have so many insiders telling you, oh, this guy's talking to this team and such and such. So when the time was ready for the NBA season to start, I'm sure you was about as bad as me. I'm on Twitter and I'm refreshing every 30 seconds just to see anything new, just to see the craziness. And it was like happening like rapid fire. That first 2 hours, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I agree with you 110%. I think this is great for the league, especially with everyone going into it's like people are teaming up in duos, and less of the super teams. It's almost it's like Twitter said. Kawhi beats Golden State. And he pulls a Thanos, snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden we have balance in the league now.
Restored the parity.
I love it.
It's great.
So now you gotta tell me, who's your biggest winner so far?
I mean, I would have to be a homer with this, right?
Of course.
The New Orleans Pelicans did no wrong in my eyes this offseason. Dating back from last year, after Anthony Davis just comes out of the blue, wants a trade. Losing a talent like Anthony Davis, teams don't really come back from.
You don't. Especially not the very next year.
Right. And David Griffin has, with the draft picks, with picking up Zion, with picking up Jackson Hayes, Nikhil Alexander, picking up J.J. Redick.
Derek Favors.
Right.
The one thing about small market teams, a lot of times they have to overpay to get players. So my boys in Orlando, that's our biggest problem. In order for us to get pretty decent free agents, a lot of times we have to overpay.
Right.
In your situation, you didn't have to overpay for anything. It was like people wanted to come play for this new look Pelicans.
I mean, again, when you get Zion Williamson as a draft pick, I mean, I guess good things come to you.
Of course.
I guess good things come to you.
I mean, if I'm going to be a homer and discuss Orlando, I personally love what we did. I definitely am glad we were able to sign Vooch and get Terrence Ross back. Our biggest thing was to make sure we have our key guys come back. So that was big for us. But for me, as the biggest winner of this offseason, I have to go with the Clippers, man.
And I can see that too.
Keeping Lou Will and Montrez off the bench is dynamic alone. Those two putting up 40 to 50 points a night, that's coming off your bench. That's huge. And now you're telling me you have somebody like Kawhi and Paul George, both players that are capable of carrying a starting lineup with someone or by themselves, basically. They're more than capable of winning games, So now you have those two, and you bringing in a fresh two off the bench, and like you said earlier, you bringing in guys like Pat Bev that you were able to sign back.
Right. That's one of the biggest moves right there.
It was
keeping him.
It was
one thing that both the Clippers and the Pelicans have in common. They're going to be great defensive teams.
Yes, they are. Great
defensive teams.
It's going to be a lot of teams that aren't putting up 100 points on y'all at all. Teams are going to struggle, that's for sure. So with your biggest winner, Who would you say would be your biggest loser of this offseason so far?
You would have to say Toronto, right? I mean, losing a player like Kawhi Leonard. I mean, y'all just came off of a championship. There has to be a way you keep him on your roster, right?
You would think so.
I would have to say Toronto would be the biggest losers. I mean, losing Kawhi and also Danny Green. I mean, those are two big names that helped y'all win that championship this year. So, I mean.
And I think what hurts them even more is the fact that both of those players were kind of waiting to see how everything played out. So now that it took towards the end of the free agency period, a lot of players are already gone now. So it's almost like they didn't have enough time to even fill those holes, that spot. So
right.
I definitely see that.
They're taking a big step back. Masai is gonna have to do some magic work next year.
Yeah, it's gonna. But I mean, that fan base over there in Canada, they still celebrate the NBA finals. They can care less right about that.
right. But you get hungry once you get that first one. You always want another one.
Hopefully.
So they're gonna have to make some moves, and they're gonna have to make some moves quick, or
some people will be looking on the outside, looking in on the playoffs. That's okay. Orlando's been rebuilding for years. So I definitely do. I guess I'd have to agree with Toronto because, like I said, one of the biggest things is you didn't even have enough time to fill those holes. So it'll be eager to see what they're going to do. They have to do something.
Right.
So with all the changes that we all clearly are seeing, we're all keeping our eyes closely. There's still more players out there that needs to be picked up. Still rosters that need to be filled. But if we're going to go ahead and sit down and look at what they have right now, who's your preseason favorite to win it all?
Probably one of the teams in LA. Lakers or the Clippers. I mean, do a coin flip, pick. With Anthony Davis and LeBron with the Lakers, and then, like you said, Kawhi, Paul George, Lou Will, Pat Bev, the deepness of the Clippers.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not pick one of them two.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Milwaukee has a good chance.
Yeah, we still can't count out Milwaukee.
But the two LA teams
have
to be my pick.
I like the two LA teams too. I think a lot of teams a lot of people are kind of selling the Lakers short because of all their losing records, and people are seeming to forget how great LeBron is.
Oh yeah,
this is the first year that we've seen him have a crack in that armor. Like, we finally seen LeBron get hurt.
Right.
And this is also the first time he hasn't been in the playoffs in Lord knows how long. You know what I'm saying? So now you're telling me he has extra time to work on his body, get his body back in shape. Anthony Davis coming back from his injuries as well, but being with LeBron, LeBron's gonna make sure his body's correct too.
Oh yeah.
The people are still on that team. Sure, you signed DeMarcus Cousins. That's another player, that is coming back from an injury.
The second year removed from that injury. So.
Right, and he was kind of thrown in the fire. Golden State needed him for the playoff. They kind of just threw him in there, and we need you, DeMarcus, basically. And he didn't look the same. He still needed more time.
Right.
So
still have Kuzma.
Right. I'm eager to see the lineup they put out because, they were able to sign Rondo back.
Right.
I know.
Danny Green.
I know a lot of speculation saying they're going to put LeBron there at that point guard position, but they don't have to. That's something they can go ahead and tamper with their rotations and as the year goes on. But definitely the best NBA offseason I've ever seen. And there's still more to come. There's still more players to get picked up. But all in all, I think that'll wrap today's show up. What you think, man? You got anything else?
Oh man, no. I'm glad you had me on, man.
Hey man, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. We'll definitely have you on the show more often. If you guys want to keep up with some of our live tweets and just be more hands on with us and communicating with us, follow us on IG and Twitter on MB8Cast. It's the same on both social media outlooks, and we're looking forward to interacting with you guys. See you next time.